Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Electronics and Control. I am Ghulam Shabir, and in this video and the videos coming up later on with this series we are going to develop a number of digital logic and design labs using multisim, beginning from the how the displays can be simulated in NI multisim. Then will we go through simple gate logics, and then we will continue developing various combinational logic and sequential logic circuits later on. So this is going to be an exciting series, so let's continue learning this. So the particular topics to be covered in this series, they are displays. In the first lab activity we are going to discuss how the displays can be simulated using multisim, and we will also discuss practical implications, how the displays should be implemented in real time. Then we will talk about combinational logic implementations like AND OR logic, NAND logic, NAR logic, and or invert logic and other practical logic implementations. Then we will also be talking about functions of combinational logic, beginning from binary arithmetic circuits, then decoder circuits, encoder circuits, multiplexer, demultiplexers, and other implementations of combinational logic in different systems. Then we will begin learning the elements of sequential logic, and we will begin learning about latches and flip-flops. We will create fundamental difference between latches and flip-flops, and we will discuss some simple implementation, simple applications of logic, flip-flops and latches. Then we will shift our mode towards the applications of flip-flops, and the two fundamental applications of flip-flops are the shift registers and counters, and we will go some length on the design and applications of counters and shift registers in real-time applications such as data transfers, data converters, serial to parallel data converters, parallel to serial data converter, data buffering, then sequencing design using counters, etc. Then we will develop these ideas to design finite state machines, and we will try to develop a number of applications based on Moore machine or Mealy machine. And lastly, we will include a several number of projects based on digital logic design, and this is going to be an exciting set of videos. So stay tuned and let's start learning. So the first lab activity which we are going to discuss in this video, in this particular video, is how simple LED displays can be interfaced with logic ICs, beginning from simple gate ICs to microcontrollers, FPGAs, and everything else. I mean, although in simulation we will not be discussing the real-time logic ICs, but the ideas presented in this video, they will definitely will be forming a basis how the LEDs and other indicator they can be interfaced with any logic device. So this is the first one. In first circuit, the simplest circuit, we can see that on the right hand side we can see two LEDs connected in two ways. Uh, below we can see uh, below we can see actually a logic source. Is a simulation logic source available in multisim library. In practically this logic source implements or emulates the functionality of this kind of circuits. I mean, this LED will be receiving a low logic signal, or it will be receiving a high logic signal. High logic signal, fundamentally this could be 5 volt, but in modern digital IC this has gone very low. This voltage has become very low, up to 1 volt or even 0.9 volt. And They are also available in 1.2 volt system, 2.5 volt system, 3.3 volt system. I mean, this voltage could be any logic level voltage, but this will always be a low voltage signal. So any logic that can be simulated with this kind of setting, we can see that this is actually a single pole double throw switch. So if we want to simulate, we want to emulate the connection of the LED with logic low, we will put this switch below, and then if we want that our LED is connected with logic high, this LED, this connection will be made upward here. And this same functionality is emulated with this digital source available in NI multisim library. So before going further, these 2 points they should be considered. The first thing is that what kind of logic is driving the LED? Is it logic low or logic high? So if it is logic low, then definitely this connection will be inverted. I mean, the cathode of the LED will be connected towards this side, and anode will be connected towards this side. This will be connected towards some high voltage. And similarly, this connection will be like that. And if the LED is being driven by logic high, then this connection will work. So if the LED is being driven by logic low, then definitely the current will flow from the LED towards the digital pin. In that case, we must be taking care of the sinking current capability of the logic device. And if the LED is being driven by the logic pin, then we must be taking care of the sourcing current capability of the logic device. And the other thing that we must keep in mind that we cannot pass indefinite amount of current through LEDs. We must consider reading the specific data sheet of the specific LED, and we must know that how much current can be passed through a certain LED. In general, an LED can consider or can allow the passage of current up to 20 milliampere, but this is a generic statement. This must be reviewed using certain data sheets while we are working with LEDs. So the point is that if we are using LEDs, this must be having enough current passing through it such that it produces certain amount of glow that it becomes visible and it becomes catchy to your eyes. And also there must not be more and more current that may make this LED burn out. So we must take in care of the safety of the LEDs, and we must be taking care of the enough amount of current that will make it glowing in enough amount. So these 2 points they must be considered while we are interfacing LEDs with digital devices. And if the driving digital device and LED, they have entirely different requirements. They have different limitations. Then we can consider using this kind of circuits. This is an example circuit. Depending upon what kind of this indicator or LED would be, what would be its requirement, we can change this device. I mean, this could be a higher power BJT, or it could be a power MOSFET, or even in certain cases, this could be a relay. So they must be interfaced like this. I mean, now the logic level and its current will be controlled by this resistor, and the current passing through this LED will be controlled by this resistor. And also we will also be able to drive the LED with different voltage than the logic voltage. So depending upon what kind of indicator we are going to use, and we are going to drive that indicator with a logic device, we can use this kind of circuit. And finally, if we need to calculate the LED resistor to limit the flow of current passing through that resistor, we can use this formula VCC minus VF over ILED. VCC here is a generic voltage. This will be representing the logic voltage, or this could also be representing the driving voltage, like in the previous slide. And this VF is the voltage drop across the LED. So depending upon what LED, green, red, amber, what kind of LED we are going to use in our circuit, so we need to consider this voltage. So again, I'm stressing that we should be using the data sheet of the particular device to consider that what should be the maximum current and what is the voltage drop across the LED, such that we could calculate an appropriate value for the resistor. And for the previous circuit, we can control the current sunk by the logic device, or the current sourced by the logic device, using this resistor. Again, this is a generic formula. This is an idea. Depending upon what interfacing device we are going to use, this might change. So this VCC is the logic driving voltage. This VBE is the voltage base to emitter junction voltage, and this is the current that we must having passing through this resistor to make the VGT device in saturation mode. I mean, again, this will be the current that will be sourced by the digital device, or this sunk by the digital device. So we must be taking care of this current. Okay, next we are going to demonstrate the digital LEDs. I mean, better version of LEDs. When LEDs are arranged in a certain way, they can be used to display numbers. And these are two examples of how the LEDs can be arranged to display numbers, to indicate numbers. This display is the famous 7 segment display. We can see that it has 7 inputs, from beginning from input A to input B, and this is another display, hexadecimal display. This needs only 4 inputs. This display is emulating the commercially available displays, hexadecimal display, which come in actually 4 display or 8 displays, coming as a single unit. But these are available as single units. So this is actually a simulation device available in the multisim library. We can learn the interfacing of this device with logic signal to understand how they can be used in different applications. Later on, we will be using these displays in different projects and different labs. So stay tuned. We are going to develop very interesting application depending upon these devices. If you have some idea that we should consider developing using these displays, you may put those ideas in comments. Okay, here this display is common anode display. I mean, this pin is connected to plus 5 volt, and this will be driven by logic low signals. So 74LS74 is the 7 segment driver IC, and it will be producing logic low signal to activate any segment in this display. And this one is the common and cathode 7 segment, and this need to be driven from 74LS48, because it produces active high signals, active logic high signals to drive any segment from this display. So now let's go to the multisim and demonstrate the running of uh, these circuits. Here we can see, uh, as we have just discussed, in that here we can see different LED circuits connected with logic inputs, and these are the formulas to calculate the resistor values. So if we run these circuits, it will function as expected. We can see here that the mechanism is running, the circuits are simulating, circuits are running. So if we press as space key on the keyboard, it changes the state of this switch, and also it changes the state of this logic input, and here it also changes the state of this switch. We can see in all these three circuits the logic high input is being delivered to the LED, and the LED is glowing. For this demonstration, red LED has been used, and the current has been limited to about 20 milliampere using this resistor R1 150 ohm and this resistor 150 ohm. And here, since this LED is being divided by a different voltage, high voltage, and this is actually an emulation of the circuit, and I mean this LED can be replaced with other indicators, with other lamps or high energy lamps or other high power devices. And we can use these formulas to calculate the required resistors for these things. And similarly, we can see here, sorry, here different displays are connected with these logic inputs. So if we run this circuit, we can change the values that are being displayed on this loop. For example, if we make all the inputs 0, we can see that all displays are indicating a value of 0. And here in this demonstration, the key A is representing the MSB, and this key D is representing the LSB. So in this case, 1000 is actually binary 8, so all displays are indicating 8. Similarly, if I make it 0 and if I make this LED 1, this logic input 1, all displays are indicating value of 1. Similarly, we can change other values and we can display other things. Okay, if we make A1 and D1, we will see that 9 is displayed, but if I made C as 1, then hexadecimal, this is 1010 hexadecimal A, but you can see that this 7 segment display, this cannot display A. This is because these drivers are hexadecimal to BCD drivers, which mean that they convert the hexadecimal value to BCD number, and then BCD number is displayed on these 7 segment indicators, which means that practically these 7 segment plates, they can only display beginning from 0 to 9. So if I decrease this number, now all the displays are showing correct values. So thank you so much for this, for staying with us, for to watch this video. Stay tuned for more interesting videos. Thank you so much.